I do not encourage nor condone any of the actions performed or products shown in this video. All of the videos are produced in a safe and controlled environment. Do not attempt to replicate any of the actions performed during this video.
Hello beautiful people from the internet, it is Connie over here. Good morning. I'm about to make some coffee because I am in need of some, and then I'm going to go outside and try some new smokes I haven't tried, and also debate on some thoughts I haven't debated on yet because I've been waiting for you. So let's get my coffee started and I'll meet you outside. Good job. I forgot to say, I'm at my mom's house currently, and look at the way she stores the coffee capsules, okay? How cool! Oh, my cat! Look who came to visit! Yes! And what else do you have to say to the masses? I don't know if he has thoughts in his brain. Okay, I'm going to be picking blindly. I hope I don't take out the decaf. Let's see. Green? No? But I don't think it's the decaf, so I'll have it. Oh my god. Alrighty, hello friends, I'm all sat down now. There are children playing in the school nearby, which is not really that nearby, they are just very loud. I have my coffee here, and also today I'm going to be trying the Handel's Gold Sun mini cigars, which I haven't tried before. I have tried the vanilla ones and the chocolate ones. I don't even know what flavor type these ones are going to be, but that is what I'm going to be unraveling just now to see what it is all about. There I am producing some bars as per usual. Ooh, they smell very, very caramelly. I hope you enjoy the ambient sound of children playing in the back, because if you don't, then this is probably going to be a little bit annoying. The school is far away enough to where you would think you wouldn't be able to hear them, but children have powerful voice boxes. Alright, I'm going to light this up, see what it is all about. Alright, it definitely has a caramelly sort of note in there. It's very, very sweet. And also it pairs quite well with a latte, which is what I have for myself every morning. I was actually holding off having my morning coffee until I arrived here to my mom so I could have it with you guys. And let me tell you, leaving the house, getting dressed, doing my makeup on, and having motivation for the day before having my coffee was a tough challenge to get through this morning, but I didn't want to have 2 coffees, otherwise I would be jumping around like a maniac, and so I held off until I got here and I could have it with you. I think this is definitely the sweetest mini cigar I have had so far, and I do not mind it because I usually really like very sweet flavors, and it's not something that I can have in cigarettes since flavors are banned here in Portugal. So it is a different sort of experience and it's quite nice. I don't know if it's because I've been reading a lot of Camus as of late, but I've been tiptoeing with the idea of absurdism for the first time in my life. Well, not the idea of absurdism, the philosophy of absurdism. This philosophy basically highlights the conflict that exists between how us as humans are constantly trying to find inherent meaning in everything, and then we have the universe, which is giving us irrational things that are happening and very likely to be meaningless, and we are not receiving the meaning that we are so eagerly looking for, you know? And I've been thinking a lot about this because I don't know if you know, but meaning for me is one of my biggest causes of despair. I think about meaning at least twice per day, and I'm always debating whether I feel like there is inherent meaning or there isn't inherent meaning, whether I need to go and find it or will it find me, you know? It's a topic that I have very strong and opposing opinions on, and I find very difficult to reach any conclusions at all because I feel like I'm not understanding what I truly believe about this because I'm so consumed by everyone's opinions on the media. And I feel like this is a very big thing for me. Sometimes when I think about a topic and I go and research it, I read multiple perspectives, you know, and then I find it hard to go back and think, well, what was my original perspective on this? Because this makes sense, and this also makes a little bit of sense, and this makes sense as well. So what do I think about this, you know? I cannot believe everything. I have to have a sort of concise idea, at least a little bit, but sometimes I find it hard to do that because there's just so much good content out there to consume and to debate on, you know? I don't know what it is about a cigar and a cup of coffee that goes well together. I don't know if it's the textures or the flavors or the smells or everything at once. I've been trying to think, you know, every day I wake up, do I need to go and try and find the meaning for my day? Is the meaning something that goes from the start to finish of my life? Is it something I create and I destroy whenever I want it? Or is it something that exists out there and I need to find it, or it needs to find me? If that is the case, how do I know which direction to go? Is any direction that I'm going the correct one? Because I'm pre-built to be able to find my meaning, so every step that I'm taking is going to take me to the meaning of my life. Shouldn't I have found it already? When will I find it? When I'm 80 years old? Won't that be too late? What will I do with the meaning of life when I'm 80 years old, when I don't have that much time left to do a lot with it? I don't know, I don't understand anything about it, and sometimes it makes me feel a little bit helpless, I think. And I think this, paired with the fact that I've been reading more Camus than usual, has made me a little bit more prone to become absurdist. So maybe I wake up and there's absolutely no meaning in anything that I'm going to do. Everything that happens is just pure coincidence. It doesn't mean anything to me or to anyone else. All I have to do is appreciate the present moment as it is. Take it as it is. Does it look totally stupid? Did something super unexpected happen? It doesn't mean anything. That's just the way the world works. Embrace it. Look at it. Laugh at it. This is your present moment. Enjoy it. And maybe that will help me with my fight for meaning. I don't know. But that's what I've been trying to do. I hadn't had a mini cigar in a long time. Ever since summer, really. What have I been doing? I think sometimes I forget certain types of smokes and I focus more on other types of smokes. I definitely have periods in which I'm trying more cigars and periods in which I'm trying less. So maybe I'm back into one of those let's try more cigars grooves, you know? Another thing that I've been thinking a lot about, but it's still very distorted in my brain, is the concept of resentment, you know? I feel like this could be totally wrong. I'm thinking about this raw right now. I haven't written about this, so it's all scattered. But I feel like a very big reason for why adults and elderly people are sometimes such angry beings is because they resent a lot of things, you know, either things that they did or didn't do, say or didn't say, you know. And so I've been trying to think in every little decision that I get to make, will I resent this if I do this or I don't do this? And it's been driving me a little bit crazy because if you think about it, there are millions of decisions that you are making every day. Okay, millions is maybe a stretch. Well, I don't know, because even the fact that I decided to use these words, every choice for each of the words that I'm using right now is a decision that I've had to make. It feels very automatic, you know, but I could have used any other way to structure my sentence because there are other ways to phrase things. But still, all of these words that I'm saying, they are a choice that I've made, you know. Could I have said this exact sentence in another way that would have been perceived as easier to understand? That is a choice I could have made differently. Do I resent it? No, I don't think so. I feel like I've explained myself in a way that I'm content with. But see what I mean? It's like every little thing, every step you take, every coffee you make, the way that you make it. Do you turn the machine on first, or do you put the capsule on first? Do you heat up your milk, or do you not? And why? You know? I've been thinking so much about each decision that I make that I feel like, funnily enough, it has been helping me enjoy the present a little bit more, because I'm very focused in what is happening right now. This is the choice that I'm having to make right now. What are my options? What am I going to do? I'm here. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm here, making my choice. It drives me a little bit crazy, sure, but it's making me be more present, and I appreciate that. I'm going to be practicing piano for the next couple of hours until lunchtime. It is now 10 a.m. and I feel like my studies are going well. I feel content with the progress that I've been making with my pieces, and it just has been a very nice ride, learning new pieces and coming here a lot of times per week to practice them. And I love recording here, you know. There's something about the way that the greenery looks and feels texture-wise that is very beautiful to me, and also the sound of children. I feel like this is helping me a lot with my incapability of focusing whenever there are multiple stimuli. I feel like a year ago I wouldn't have been able to speak while there were children making multiple different noises in the back, but now I feel like I'm having a little bit of trouble, but not trouble enough to keep me from actually being able to make the video, you know? I hate to say this because it just shows how dependent I am on coffee, but man, I feel so much better after I have my coffee in the morning, because before I have my coffee, I truly am becoming one of those people that cannot speak with anyone. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little bit mean. Sorry, Dad. I was a little bit mean to you this morning, and I do resent that. See, I could have chosen to behave differently, and tomorrow morning I will think about this and behave differently, even if it takes a lot of effort, because I'm very grumpy. I just woke up, I haven't had my coffee, and my dad is asking me 30 questions in a row and asking me to do a million things, but it's not even like that. He probably asked me one question and asked me to do half a thing, and I tweaked, you know? So it's just a matter of perspective, but I feel like having perspective when you just woken up, it's too difficult, at least for me. Also, I've been thinking a lot about pride. I feel like I am not a prideful person, but of course I have a twinge of pride in me. All of us do, you know, it's part of our ego. If you had no pride at all, I feel like maybe you would experience some sort of ego death, which good for you. I'd like to experience that one of these days. I wonder how many opportunities we lose because of pride. You know, I saw this video the other day where there was a girl talking about how many people have lost the love of their life because of a silly little thing that they don't even know what is anymore, just because they were too prideful at the moment to either say sorry or accept the apology on the other side. And I think about this a lot, you know. Were you too proud to accept an opportunity from a person that maybe you thought you shouldn't accept an opportunity from, that could have potentially changed your life, but you didn't allow it to happen because of pride? Were you too proud to say sorry to a friend that could have been your best friend for life had you just forgiven something that they did that they didn't mean to do, or maybe they meant to do? You just had to maybe lower your pride a little bit and say, look, I understand, you've made a mistake, I've made mistakes too, and I forgive you, and it's okay, and it's hard for me to forgive you because you've really hurt me, but let's stick together through this, you know. But instead, you both went your separate ways, and I don't know, nothing really more came of it. Does this sound like I'm talking about myself? Look, I think we all have very similar experiences. This has happened to me, and I have learned from it. And I wonder if I'm ever going to make the same mistake again. And I hope not. And I'm very sad that sometimes you really need to make a big mistake in order to learn, you know. You need to have that example in your mind so that whenever the situation comes around again, looking a little bit different or maybe looking very similar, you can recognize it and say, no, I've done this before and this is not the way I want to behave this time, you know. I feel like I've been having a lot of ideas in my brain recently, especially because I've been traveling by train quite a lot these days, and I feel like there's something about the train, man. Whenever I'm looking out the window and everything's just passing so fast but so smoothly, my brain, it feels like there's something also happening there, you know. It keeps loading and loading, and all of these ideas keep forming, and I feel like that is what's happening whenever I'm on the train. So I'm getting all of these thoughts, and then I don't write them down immediately, because if I write them down on the train, my ink is going to be all scattered around the place, and so I try to keep them in my brain, but then everything is kind of mashed potatoes inside of my brain, you know. There's this idea here, and then in the middle of the mashed potato confusion there's another idea there, you know. So I kind of need to dissect my own brain in order to take out the ideas that I've been thinking about lately. But yeah, my friends, all in all, very decent experience I've had here this morning. I've loved chatting with you, as I always do. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. Cheers, we've had some nice coffee, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you all very soon, alright? Bye!